These kids that are here, they're all obviously here because they love film and filmmaking and, you know, the art of everything that goes into it, acting, you know, directing, producing, just cinema in general. And that's how I started. You know, I was just a kid who loved it. And so I love to do it myself, obviously on a small scale, but that's how you learn. And that's ultimately what you take with you the rest of your life too, because now I still operate that way. I still love what I do. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. And, you know, so I guess my advice would be to just utilize that tool as much as you can, and not to worry about where it gets you, because that's not what matters. What counts is that you have it's a miracle. This YouTube, I mean, is a miracle, really. It's like you get to just make your own films and projects, you know, and it's a small scale and it's not a professional scale, and it may not even get you attention ever. I never received any attention on my YouTube videos, you know, until I was in a show or anything like that. But that's not what matters. What matters is that I learned a lot while doing it, and it made me happy, and it's what I just love to do, and that's what's carried me here now. You know, just that passion. Sure. So yeah, just never get down if you're not making it anywhere. You know, like if you're not becoming famous or anything like that. That's not what it's about. It's really just about practicing what you love to do and getting better at it. Acting was something that I came upon and I really, really love now, and I want to be as best as I can at it. And I also just want to be the best person I can be. And I think that those two correlate. Like I feel like I've always really believed that you know, in acting, you progress as a person first. So that comes first. You know, you grow as an actor if you grow as a person. If you're not growing as a human being, then I don't see how you can progress as an actor. So yeah, you know, just to constantly be better as a person. You know, I'm still really young, and I'm not perfect at all, and I'm not. I'm not, and I never will be, and I also don't think I'll ever be a perfect actor. I just think they're very similar, you know, like that. I don't really envision any sort of specific career for myself, to be honest. I think if I did, it would sort of derail things in a way. I think I just want to stay focused on, you know, challenging myself and doing different things, and learning as much as I can along the way, working with directors I can learn from, working with people that are better than me, just constantly getting better at what I do, because the reason I love this so much is I don't think I'll ever be really, really, you know, just amazing at it to the point where, like, there's nothing left to do. You know, I feel like I'll never know enough about acting. So there's plenty of people who inspire me, you know. I can't, again, it's so hard to want to mimic someone's career, because I think that would take away from what's so special about their careers. But I mean, as far as actors go who inspire me, I mean, you know, it's really kind of an endless list and a growing, I mean, a constantly changing list. You know, even there are kids younger than me and my own age who inspire me, and then there are guys who I grew up on watching, you know, who I think I've sort of like, they're the reason that I'm doing this today, is because, like, their work, you know, meant so much to me as a kid. I, like, believed it as being real. And you know, I mean, Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, all those great, you know, those great actors. Like, I would never want to try to be them, because I think they would hate that. Like, not like a personal thing. I just think that's not what an artist should do. You know, what's really important, I think, in art is being individual and being yourself, and finding that rather than trying to imitate something that's already been done or a path that's already been sort of paved.
No human is perfect, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. That's the way it should be. You know, we sort of get brought up into this, like, world of, you know, we see these celebrities. You guys think there's these celebrities who are just like the perfect people, and let me tell you that is not the case. It's not the case with me. It's not the case with anyone I've met who's a celebrity. People just like you, they are no different. You were probably better than a lot of them, let me tell you, seriously, and me. So I guess my advice would be to just focus on that and not feel the need to be anything bigger, because there is nothing bigger. This is life, and this is, you know, imperfection is beautiful, and, you know, and don't be afraid of it.
As far as it being like a golden age for TV, I think that's entirely right. I feel like in the last 5 years, it's almost like television. There's almost been more good television than there has been movies. Almost. I think it's amazing, given everything I just said. It being very difficult to make a TV series and to operate in that kind of fast pace, you know, and have it be quality. I think it's incredible. It's almost like certain people have gotten it down to a science, because, I mean, there has been better TV that, you know, there are shows that I put on now that look like movies that, more so than films do. Whereas, you know, in the film department, I feel like a priority has become, you know, a fan base, and to make money, and, you know, just produce something that's already been done rather than something original, because it'll get more attention, and you know that it's more a bang for its buck. You know, like that's more of just a slam dunk, like, you know. And I think that's a shame, because film is beautiful, and it should never be that way. Like, productions should never go into production without a script, and that happens all the time now. You know, something will get greenlit based on a name and a brand, rather than it being something of substance, and something really that could be special and new and original. You know, but I don't think that that's like, you know, I have confidence in it coming back. You know, I don't think this will last. I hope not. This sort of age of, like, you know, like I said, just regurgitating ideas rather than focusing on new things. I feel like the first time in my life I ever felt like different or excluded in any sort of way, or just, you know, maybe, I mean, that excluded is the wrong word. Different is, I moved to California with my family when I was 12, and it was an interesting experience. It was a large adjustment. I didn't feel like I fit in for the first time in my life. I didn't feel like I had friends outside of my family, and I didn't feel like I was at home. You know, I felt like I was on this alien planet, you know, for a little while. And funny enough, that kind of motivated me to, not motivated me, that, again, wrong word. That's what caused me to sort of like start making videos like that, just, and doing what I love to do. I mean, I think like it kind of breaks you down to your roots, and that's clearly what I love to do, and that's what made me happy. And since I didn't have much else to make me happy at the time, that's sort of what I always went to. And again, funny enough, then when I started doing it, I was so terrified to tell my friends. Any friends that I did have at the time, I didn't tell them for so long, until they basically found out, because I was so afraid of what they would think. And thinking back, you know, now that I'm just older, I hate that I felt that way. You know, I hate that I felt that I needed to keep that from people, you know, just because I was then so groomed to just be fearful constantly, you know, of being made fun of and being outcasted and excluded, you know. And I think the most important thing is to embrace your difference, and to embrace, like, just your individuality, and what you think and how you feel, you know, and to go with that more than anything else. And don't let anyone affect you in a way that would change you, you know. I think it took me a lot longer to realize that than I would have liked, but that's all part of growing up, you know. And I think it's wonderful that the theme is Be Different here, because that's it's so much of what an artist should be. You know, not necessarily different, but every artist is different in that every person is different. And I don't think you should fight to copy anyone, or to be anything else, or to be anyone, or to be anything that someone should think you should be, you know? I think you should just be what you think you should be, and that will be different, because you're your only person. I mean, like, there isn't anyone else like you in the world. And that's true. Like, you know, even though growing up you may think that you're so plain and that you're so boring, you know, and that you're so lame, and like, you know, there's so many people different than or better than you know, and you need to be like them to be good. That's not true. You just need to embrace what's inside you, really, and that will be different from anyone else in the world, because you are you, and that's it. I, as a person, am constantly encountering situations where I'd have to act or show parts of myself that I wouldn't necessarily want to. I'm not somebody who's sort of just good at doing that, at expressing and comfortable at it, you know, comfortable with it. I feel like it's almost why I'm an actor, or it's almost why I like acting, is because like that sort of enables me to or forces me to confront certain emotions, certain parts of me that I wouldn't ordinarily, or I would avoid ordinarily, and I don't think it's healthy to avoid those things. You know, I mean, I think it's all part of being human. You know, being up here talking to you guys, this is not easy for me. This is not something that comes natural to me. Like, I'm not
for me.
Yeah, I completely understand. I'm not a public speaker by any means. You know, my heart is constantly pounding when I'm up here, but I do it because I think that's important. And I think I like acting because same thing. It makes me face things that, you know, kind of go against. I mean, like, if you felt my palms right now, oh my God, they're so sweaty. Yeah, you're shaking. I'm shaking. It's just, you know, I think that's how we grow. That's like, you know, that's just part of life. This business only exists because of the spirit of children and the spirit that we all have growing up, and then it kind of hinges on us and our ability to hang on to that as much as we can, even though when we get older and we discover that it's not everything we thought, the world isn't a fantasy, these movies aren't real, but, you know, to keep the passion of those stories and to sort of hang on to the belief that you had as a kid, that's what makes it so beautiful. That's what makes this, you know, such an incredible business, and that's what makes it art, you know, despite all the bull that's involved at the end of the day. You know, surrounding it, at the core of it is a really, really beautiful thing, and it starts with kids, and it starts with us when we're young, and we're so filled with, you know, imagination and dreams and belief and you know, passion for fantastical sort of adventures, you know, and that's what drives it at the end of the day. And so I think that this festival really just hits the nail on the head with how these kids should be feeling, you know. They should never be discouraged in any way if they never make it again, like just like that, you know. It's because it's not what it's about. It's just about loving it and doing it and, you know, practicing and I think it's beautiful. I was very excited to come here because I just feel like it's really right on, you know. I feel like I wish there were more. I wish there were festivals in America that sort of focused on this a little more, because I really feel like that's right. You know, it's a great lesson to be taught to kids who love movies and want to do this someday.